Okay, everybody, this is huge, huge, huge again. It's about playing to our strengths because we don't do it. There's only a handful of people that can come into their being and say, "I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm whatever." When we're in a broken society with toxic parents and bad things, unfathomable, unimaginable things have happened to us, our strengths are buried under layers and layers of pain and conditioning. And a broken society, which is society, loves to keep you not feeling good. I remember working for a job and they actually wanted to put you down and make you feel almost fired almost every day so that you feared you were going to get your paycheck so that you wouldn't quit and you wouldn't leave. What a company. If I had known how crazy they were going to be, I never would have signed up. But once you're in there, it's much more difficult to just walk away. But I did walk away. Okay, so I want to talk about our strengths and our everything that we have in us. And no matter how deep it's buried, it's under there. So if I'm going to first talk about an introvert because you have so much more strength than you think. And an introvert already feels like that's a defect, as is if you think you're gay and that's a defect, and as if you have a disease you think that that's a defect, and you're handicapped and that's a defect. All of those things have the diagnosis or the condition or the description here, and underneath that and over that is your strength, because any of that does not define you for an hour. It does not. It just is a thing. And I haven't met anybody all the way up to the top of celebrities and all the way up to the top of whatever that didn't have horrific, unfathomable, unthinkable things. But yet, with whatever broke them, they took their strengths from down here and whatever their assets and attributes are, and did this, climbed over whatever happened to them, whatever conditions they have, whatever, and then they rose. They rose into politicians, they rose into government, they rose into celebrity, they rose into leaders, speakers, healers, everything. And everybody can do it. Now, my prayer for most people is that they don't try to strive for celebrity, because it's such a lonely and deceptive concept, and most of them have less friends than you and I could ever even fathom as private citizens. So that's number one. But in your strengths that are sleeping from your broken state, I know men especially, but people don't love to write things down. But one of the reasons that I encourage people to do it is so that they have two memories of it. The one that's buried down here, and then the one that just read what you wrote. So let's say I'm an introvert. My strength is that I'm aware, because while I'm not speaking and laughing and being the center of attention, I see it all. I see everything. And I know everything. I'm just not verbalizing it, and I'm not taking center stage. So my strength is that I'm learning and that I'm aware and I'm so keen to everything around me. Whereas if I'm an extrovert and I'm the center of attention, that is my strength, but I'm going to miss everything because I'm working myself and I don't get to see that. So right then and there, you have advantage if you're an extrovert and an advantage if you're an introvert. And when you work with both of those, you have equal power, equal opportunity, and equal everything. So for the extrovert, they're probably entertaining and having fun and being the life of the party, and making jokes and being the prettiest and being the sexiest, or whatever it is that they're doing in their extroverted platform. And meanwhile, the introvert is gaining. And you can write what you think, just think what you think, teach yourself about what you think, and learn what you do want, what you don't want, what you need. And therefore, you've already risen from under here to about here. So let's take the next thing. You've been educated. If you've gone to school, you know math, you know everything. And if you're on social media, you know computers. So now you're here. So with your two broken things, you went from dying and not knowing what to do and not knowing how to get out of it up to here. To get to here, you have to put those things into use. So if you're an introvert, I recommend hiding on social media. Don't put your picture, don't use your real name, and float. And float with what you know and where you need to be. There's groups for everything. There's groups if you're a lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, been raped, priest, incest, sexual assault, rape survivor, bad mother, toxic mother, everything. Find these groups and live in anonymity. And if you just sit in a chat room and you don't even speak, again, that introvert is watching the chat room on social media and putting yourself up here. You need to be able to make a living. You need to be able to work. You need to be able to see where does this take you and what are your interests. So a lot of introverted people, they love to be on social media quietly, and they love to read, and they love to whatever. So you can be a computer scientist, you can invent a software, you can work in a company where your job is tweeting, texting. You know, there's people that pay people to do all their tweeting for them. That's what you can do in an introvert position. You can run someone's Facebook account. You can invent pages. You can conduct websites. You can learn about any subject on the internet and then learn how to teach it in your anonymity, and they don't even know it's you. And it's almost like you have a double identity. The one that gets to stay private, but the one that gets to survive and go here. And every one of us has strengths. If you had asked me when I was 20 years old, would I be on the internet and speaking and having this page? Hell no. I didn't even want a computer. I was the last one to get a cell phone because my speaking, I like to do it to everyone's face. And I like to know who I'm talking to and have a two-way conversation. And I hate texting to this day. Do I do it? I must. But I hate it. And I don't like those texts where someone's ripping me out their entire life and laundry and what they do and what they need and what happened and blah, blah, blah. That should be in a conversation. But that being said, I work with my strength, which is having my YouTube channel, because I don't want to travel with these messages. When I found out that I could hit the bigger market and heal everybody, get everybody to stop feeling so abandoned, alone, and isolated, social media is better. And so I'm playing to my strength. So I took my broken self that was down here. Wait, the floor. Wait, China. Wait, I don't know, whatever's below that. And I pulled myself to here. And everybody can do this. But I had the will. So let's talk about your frozen will when you're broken. So when you feel awful and you're in an awful situation and no one is validating you, it is very hard to do this every single day. Yep, you're okay. Yep, you've got talent. You're great. Whatever. Because you don't feel it. You feel like you're unloved and abandoned. That is the worst thing to do. So if you are an introvert and this is happening, you must at least pull yourself from down here up to here on social media in your anonymity where you belong. You don't have to put your country, you don't have to put your location, your name, nothing. Stay where you're okay. But you must get away from feeling like you are the only one with what happened to you. You are the only one suffering. I'm telling everyone there's millions. And my four top videos are toxic people, toxic parents, incest, and sexual abuse, and rape. So there's nobody that's alone. But to claim your life back and figure out who you are and make yourself be okay. It's like instead of wanting drugs and alcohol and pills and drowning the pain, I want you to self-medicate with the goodness of what your assets are. Does that make any sense? In other words, I can sit here, alcohol's a depressant, pills wear off, and then they give you addiction, and everything else is self-sabotage. So what you need to do is say to yourself, all those things are so temporary, and they're like a band-aid over my volcano of pain. What about if every day I choose to rise a peg, and I listen to Natasha and see what she says, and then I get to here. And at least if I'm here to here, I built my hope up, and I've worked with my assets and my attributes and with things that are possible, because this is not a lot of effort to take yourself from feeling like this is only me, I'm the only one, and I can't live like this. I need to rise. You've got to rise to where the other victims are. And in order to do that, you do it in your anonymity so that you feel safe and you're not giving away what you need to protect. And my other advice is on any of this, do not tell your story. Work with your assets, your attributes, your good things, your brain, things about social media. Keep your private life private, because you don't know who you're talking to, you don't know who it is, and you don't want to re-injure and more injure so that you go from here to where I've been, okay? And so you must take yourself with what's good and what's working and build it. Is it difficult? It is. But if you face your options and you look at how much time has been stolen from you and how much time has been robbed from you, your skin should curl and you should be so angry. And what you need to do to get it from anger is feel the anger, feel the pain, have a pity party, take a box of Kleenex and cry your goddamn eyes out. And then after that, heal and rise and get to a place where you belong. Because it's very hard to feel isolated and pump yourself up every day. But you can do a better job of it when you are connected. And in toxic families that are breaking you and making you feel awful, and you still live at home and you're still suffering and being suffocated, and they're trying to remind you of whatever, if you're handicapped, disabled, had any kind of an incident, anything, and they're breaking you with it. You must not do that. And if you are in a place where you're raising children, or you're a single parent, or you're not married yet, or you're divorced and you moved back to toxic and they know this, then you are feeling, they keep hitting you because they're so broken. They love holding you and keeping you from leaving again. And you don't want that. Life goes by so fast. I'm 56. I think I'm gonna be 57 this year. I gotta do the math. I don't even know. But whatever, I'm getting to the checkout lane. And this is the perfect time for me to be doing what I'm doing and helping. But I can only give people guidance and instruction. You have to find the will that's somewhere in that rubble, in that bottom pile, and bring it to the surface. This is your obligation to yourself. People have asked me to public speak, and I just laughed at them saying, what do you think I'm doing? I'm doing it on the biggest platform there is. I'm not interested in going to travel anymore and heal a little group. I love that it's here and the right people find it and they better their lives and they graduate themselves and they climb. And allow yourself to feel your pain. Just don't make it bigger than you. Thank you.